Hey there, my name is Jay Jones, and we're coming from the Advent Theater. This is LA Art Stream's Creative Current, and today I'm talking with two of my favorite thespians. As a matter of fact, two of my favorite friends. I'm talking to my dear brother Layon Gray and Tom Scott, two of the founding members of the Black Gents of Hollywood and stars and the writer of the play The Black Angels over Tuskegee. Gentlemen, it is a pleasure and an honor to be on the stage with you here at this empty theater for right now. But I know you're here in LA because there's some big things on the horizon. We got a fantastic week of education, of entertainment. Talk a little bit about what's going on, Layon.
Well, we're bringing Black Angels over to Tuskegee here to Los Angeles to the Wilshire Bell Theater for one show only. Show's still running in New York now. We're in our fourth year. You know, everyone has been asking us to bring it back to LA where it began in a 30-seat theater. Now we get an opportunity to perform it on a huge stage for 1,240 people. So
1,240 people.
We're excited. We're looking forward to it, having fun.
Yeah. Tom, how you feel about this revival of sorts?
You know, I'm excited. This is my first time back to Los Angeles in like almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
So as I touched down this morning, just kind of taking in the palm trees, a little bit of the June gloom, smog, but then seeing the sun break through, it was a majestic experience and invigorating feeling to be back in Los Angeles. So I'm happy to be here.
That's good. Fellas, you touched on a little bit about how we started this thing. And I say we because I too was a part of the beginning of this journey. I got to take a little credit for a little bit for where the show ended up going because, again, we started this back how many years ago, Layon?
2007-ish is when I brought the idea to all you guys and then wrote it in 2008. Played around with it a little bit, changed script a little bit.
Yeah.
And still going, still running.
What's funny though, Jay, you remember when we were actually in the theater and Layon brought the first version, you're like, take that back to the top.
Well, I don't know if y'all remember, Jason was in the first draft of it. He played the angel.
Yes, that's right.
So the script, it's developed and,
evolved.
It has.
Now this is an offshoot. The Black Gents of Hollywood, we talked a little bit about, but the Black Angels over Tuskegee is an offshoot of another play that brought some brothers together called We Be I Me.
Yeah.
And we did We Be I Me. So give us a little bit of history, if we can rewind just a little bit, about how did we come together for We Be I Me, and how did We Be I Me spawn Black Angels over Tuskegee?
Tom, you want to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, well, We Be I Me was a show that spoke about the plight of the black man and just the experiences that black men go through kind of as a microcosm through this one character where seven of us played his subconscious prior to his execution. And then, that actually, I guess, was the impetus why the Black Gents of Hollywood was started, because we saw that, African-American men have so much in common and there's a voice that needs to be heard. And so Layon Gray created this platform for us to really be able to tell stories told by us and giving us the creative control for it and not have someone say, okay, this is how you should do it, this is how you should do it, this is how you should do it. No, we're going to do it how we believe that it should be done. Right. And then once the Black Gents of Hollywood was created, we wanted to really create an avenue for black actors, directors, producers, and writers to have an entree into the industry and a nurturing environment to be able to tell our stories. And so once we had that, We Be I Me did, phenomenally well. Went to New York, went to the National Black Theater Festival, won numerous awards, and then Layon Gray came up with the sophomore project, Black Angels over Tuskegee, which has equal amount of awards associated to its name, and is doing really well off Broadway. We just celebrated our fourth year off Broadway, and it's been a wonderful journey. We've had an opportunity to travel. Like a lot of people really talk about, the experience of an actor and somebody who's really trying to do and follow their dream. Well, I mean, just this year, I had an opportunity to go to Bermuda, had an opportunity to go to Tuskegee, where this story actually began. And so I'm getting an opportunity. Smithsonian Institute.
Twice. It's like we're on the recurring roster now to come to the show.
Yeah.
It's exciting, and it's in creating the play, when I was writing it in my little kitchen at my little table. After I was done, I went back through and I read. I was like, I know I had something special, but I didn't realize how it would touch so many people on so many levels. I mean, we get all nationalities coming to see in this play, and they all say they can relate. So it's not just about African Americans.
Right.
For example, this Jewish woman, maybe it's about a month or so. She, after the end of the show, we always go out and meet the audience, and she just came and gripped me and wouldn't let me go. She was in tears, just crying, saying that I reminded her of her son. So this is how this play, touch people. So it's not. We always say, it's not just a play. It's an experience that the audience go through as we allow them to relive whatever they are living through us on the stage. So it's powerful. It's just powerful. I love it. Tom and I, the last two original actors that have been in the show for 4 years, and you were in it, for a little while. So and I love doing it every day. We're getting too old.
You get too old, please.
It's a young boys play, but
as an actor, I'm able to transcend age and take to infancy as well as old. I'm the Benjamin Button of this play, quite frankly.
No doubt. So again, I like what you were saying, Late. This does transcend race. It is a story of some courageous men, and I think what resonates to audiences. I know a lot of the people who I've spoken to after some performances that I happened to be a part of, where we did go in the tradition to go out into the audience. A lot of the comments were that it was about courage, and a lot of us think we have courage until the time to be courageous, shows itself. So this is a wonderful show that transcends, again, race in time even. This is a timeless story. That's why I think it resonates even more so now than even back in the 40s when these men were doing these courageous feats.
Yeah, and it's great because, when I first wrote the play, when we went to Vegas to do it for the National Tuskegee Airmen Convention, that was the nervous I'd ever been with the play, because I was concerned about what they were going to say, were they going to like it, and at the end they all loved it and applaud and everything. So now being in New York, it's like these guys love us, and it's like they embrace us as their own, and it feels good to know that they have accepted this little play into their circles of what they've went through. So it's beautiful.
That's important. Black America obviously needs more images of positivity, not just positivity, but images of men that have overcome tremendous odds to exceed and to achieve tremendous success. So I think, did any of that really play into your mind as you were writing the story? Did you see an opportunity to have a voice and sort of uplift industry that sort of kind of bottom out to a certain extent?
Yeah, I knew I wanted to keep it honest. I wanted to make a play about, the brotherhood. Like I always tell, people about the process in writing the piece. I didn't want to tell a story where people could go on the internet and find out the facts. Right. You can go out and you could find out, okay, they shot down this many planes. I knew I wanted to tell a story about brotherhood. Interesting though, David, DC, when I told him I was writing a play about the airmen, he was like, well, there's an airman who lives around the corner from you. So I had an opportunity to sit and talk with this gentleman. And the main thing that he talked about was the brotherhood that they had, the stuff that happened behind closed doors that nobody knew about. So I knew that's the angle I wanted to go and tell in this story, about what could have happened, what people don't know about these men. Because Black Angels, here you got these 6 men from all different parts of the country, don't know each other, but become brothers. It's almost kind of like a love story, the way they come together and love, and I don't want to give away the story, but it's the way they get together and truly become one, become one. 6 totally different men from 6 parts of the country become one. I think that's the line in the play.
It is, as if
yeah.
Tom, how do you feel about being a part of something that is relevant to the upliftment and the restoration of a people?
I think also, as I go back to what I said previously about an actor and the opportunities that you have to make a change and a difference, that's one of the things that I've kind of made my mantra as an actor. I always want to be able to affect change somehow, educate, and enlighten. And I'm having an opportunity to do that, every single time I touch the stage with this piece. Because not only am I entertaining you with this piece, because it does have, an arc such that, you're laughing, you're crying, you're going through the gambit of emotions while you're watching this thing. But I'm also performing brain surgery on you, teaching you something that you didn't know as you're enjoying this. I'm like, because a lot of people walk out of the show and they're like, well, I didn't ever know that. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think I put that voice on them? But that's how they sound in my head. But I was like, they're like, I didn't know that about them. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. I didn't know this. And so they're coming to be entertained, but they're also learning. And so not a lot of plays do that. They teach and entertain. So that's a didactic experience that I'm a part of. And every single day, I love going to work and being able to do that.
And they're being taught without it being beaten over the head.
That's right.
Which is what, everybody love about this play. We have, kids from 7 years old who come and you'd be surprised. They're sitting up, just watching it and engaged.
That's right.
Most kids, they're doing their thing, but the play is so engaging that it can maintain, 7 years old attention in New York. And, hopefully we'll get a bunch of groups out to the show here in LA on June 8th.
So it's relevant, obviously, for younger audiences as well.
Yes. Because it's not in history books. There's a lot of people don't know about this information, even to this day. A couple of elder folks in their 50s and 60s, said they had never heard of the Tuskegee Airmen. And it's up for us to tell our stories. Because if we don't tell it, who's going to tell it?
Yeah, the right way. And I think actually you kind of coined one of the lines that we, still use today in some of the literature, that it goes beyond the headlines of what you've seen, but goes, behind the scenes of what the Tuskegee Airmen really experienced. And Layon and I also, in addition to doing the show, we've had an opportunity to go to the Jersey City Public School District and do like a 2-man version of this, which has been spectacular because we're actually physically going in, from like 3rd grade through 8th grade, more middle school and elementary school and lower school.
Fantastic.
And just touching their lives with a 20-minute excerpt of the play and then doing a Q&A, because we've literally been at the feet of these Tuskegee Airmen.
Absolutely.
And been able to glean from their stories firsthand. And so we're able to answer questions that they may, have, things that they may not even know about, things that they may have heard about but weren't sure. So we're kind of clearing that up. So we've kind of become like authorities, if you will, in a sense, because of the research that we've done in preparing for the roles and actually, touching these men firsthand and getting their stories. In fact, I met Lee Archer, who was the only ace for the Tuskegee Airmen, who passed away in 2010. We had an opportunity to go to his funeral when we first brought the play to New York at that time. And I still have him as my screensaver on my cell phone, because it was such a special honor to meet this man. And a lot of people, in Hollywood, they're like, okay, when you meet stars, you get starstruck.
Right.
But, that's commonplace for us since we're here. But, when I saw this guy, he's like the rock star to me. Like, oh, man, can I get a picture with you?
So
it was
I remember
amazing.
You got that picture.
Exactly, right?
Vegas. Yes, I do remember that.
Exactly.
I hate that I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
I'll let you superimpose your face on mine.
That'd be very cool. Speaking of Hollywood, gentlemen, what is the comparison to Red Tails and the Black Angels over Tuskegee?
Well, Red Tails, it deals more with the flying and I always say that the major difference between, I think it's good for the story of the Tuskegee Airmen to be told over and over and over and over again. But the main difference is Black Angels deals with the personal lives of the men and their families. Like, we talk about their wives and their loved ones that they left behind. Red Tails was more or less about, it was, the acrobats and everything that they done in the air.
Yeah.
So,
and interestingly enough, I think what Layon has done with this story, I mean, the imagery that you have to create, and as much as you don't have the CGI to create this aerial attack, that he does it with lighting, he does it with sound, he does it with great actors.
Interesting enough, well, we had an opportunity to go to the premiere of Red Tails in New York City, and I had a conversation with George Lucas. And he was like, yeah, Layon, I heard all about the play. I read all your reviews. I Googled it. So I'm like, all right. So the man Lucas knows about Black Angels.
Absolutely. And why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. So
That's
you
excellent.
know, we're going to continue to tell the story. Still selling out in New York, 4 years, still going strong. We're doing a lot of touring now. Got a couple of days coming up, Pittsburgh. We got the Caribbean, going to the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
So we're getting ready to really, really put it on the road and get it out to the masses.
What about this Broadway run? How we looking on the Broadway thing?
Yeah, Broadway, we're still looking for investors. So you can send call me, 323-762-3488. But we're in the process of, seeking investors to make this happen. We're looking at 2014, 2015 Broadway season.
I don't know why we keep going to the meetings. It's always the same thing. We've been here over a year, and we still don't get no respect. How many of these dive-bombing missions we gonna have to fly?
As many as it takes.
As many as it takes for what?
As many as it takes for us to win this war. Look, I want to get up there and shoot at more than trains and buildings too, all right? Those are our assignments.
The white boys done got shipped out to France already. Why we still here?
They don't want us to go nowhere. They want us to stay right here. No, morale been pretty low.
Everybody tired. You know, Jeremiah, I know that these missions are important, but we've flown over 60. White boys go home after 50. You know, I hear telling some of them get to be instructors, teach people, and we still here.
Yeah, well, you think they're going to let us command a group of white soldiers? Yeah, I'm figuring they probably don't know what to do with us. Yeah, ain't that something? Paperwork got mixed up.
Paperwork? Yeah, right.
Right.
Paperwork always get mixed up when it comes to our replacements. I don't know why we keep going to the meets. It's always the same thing. I got a letter from a baby girl the other day and damn near broke my heart.
What did he say?
She told her teacher that her daddy was in the army, flying. And the teacher and the students in the class laughed at her out loud, say, "Can't no Negro fly no plane." But she stood there strong and proud. And she said, "My daddy is a pilot and he is fighting in the war. And I don't care what you say." And then the teacher sent her to detention.
How old is she?
5 years. Yeah, she's a smart little girl. You see, me and her mama met in high school. And we got married after graduation.
Whoa. You married?
Oh, shh, come on now. You ain't supposed to say that too loud. You know, I know that you can't be married and in the cadet program. So, I did what any strong-willed, determined man would do. Lie. That's right. Look, Jam, I'm just trying to make her proud. Her and her mama.
I think they are.
You think?
I know. Hey, look, we gotta look after each other.
Straighten up and fly right. Hey there, this is Jay Jones with the LAR Streams Creative Current, and I am here with two of the special guests for today as well. I am with Deshaun, Derek Sean,
How you doing?
and Antonio Charity, two of the very fine actors in the groundbreaking show, Black Angels over Tuskegee. We just had an opportunity to talk with the writer and producer of the show, Layon Gray, and one of the stars of the show, and founding members of the group, Tom Scott, as well. So we want to pick right up from the end of that conversation, gentlemen. How do you feel about being a part of such a groundbreaking show? Because obviously, this is more, like Tom and Layon said, than just a show. Mm-hmm. It's an experience. Yeah. Deshaun, how you feel?
Well, it makes me feel proud to be able to give something back to the youth who may not know the story, and I feel that every time we do the show, it's an educational experience. Yeah. And so it means a lot more to me than a show. It's sort of like my chance to give them a part of history that they may not have ever known about or found out about.
That's right.
So that's what I enjoy about it, just being able to give something back to them.
Beautiful. And as an actor, do you get many opportunities to do that?
Not many, but I try to choose the material that would allow me to do that.
That's good.
Something that would allow me to impact someone in some way, form or fashion. You know, something that will make them think and give them a sense of, you know, where do I come from? You know, why do I even exist? You know, because I feel when people have a purpose, you know, they just have more fulfilling lives.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Brother Charity.
Yeah, well, I do the show for selfish reasons because it inspires me.
Hey,
It motivates me.
that's a
It
blessing.
encourages me.
That's good.
It uplifts me.
Yeah.
It's a show I could never get tired of doing.
Yeah.
And it's tremendously beneficial that the audience shares my enthusiasm.
That's a blessing.
But if they did not, I'd still be doing this show.
Now, how many opportunities do you get to perform a show where you get that type of fulfillment from?
Never.
Okay.
This play is uniquely inspirational.
Yeah.
It is uniquely uplifting. And I've done more theater than I can even remember.
Yeah.
I've done plays that I've forgotten. I remembered last week a show I hadn't done in I did like 20 years ago. I've never had the experience in any play that I've had in this one. I've never been as personally moved and motivated and encouraged to do something the way I am to do this play. There's never a time or place I don't want to do it.
That's
You know,
rare. That's something special.
it touches me in a way that nothing ever has that I've ever done on stage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's truly, truly, truly exceptional.
Now, what's the through line? You know, I do see that there's a passion when all of you speak, and I'll include myself in that, when we all speak about the Black Angels over Tuskegee. But what is the passion and what's the through line that we all take from it? Or what do you think is the connective tissue that holds this thing together and keeps us wanting to do it and the people wanting to see it?
Well, me personally, I think it's just that sense of brotherhood. You know, I've been on stage actually, honestly, I've been on stage several times with this play, and it's almost emotionally overwhelming because I look around and I see you guys, and I mean, it's just like I feel it's almost surreal.
Yeah,
you know,
good. That's a good observation.
and there are times where it's never been about the lines. We were so in sync that this person knew exactly what this person, you know, how to connect the pieces, where there was never a moment of, like, sometimes you see a play and people are like, well, whose line is it? You know, was it my line? It's never been like that. And so I feel that everyone trusts everyone, and we're just always there for each other. So I think it's just that sense of brotherhood that just connects the whole thing and makes it work.
That's good. Would you echo the same?
Yeah, absolutely. It is about the unity of the men, the characters that are written, and I can't stress enough the writing. Okay, we bring our talents and our gifts to it, but it starts with the page, and the writing is absolutely phenomenal. The characters are very, very, very well rounded. They're drawn out very, 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 very carefully, and so it helps to create the sort of the sense of brotherhood and camaraderie that he's speaking of. You know, and that's so important because we almost never get a chance to show that as Black men. You know, and we're constantly bombarded with all the negative images and negative stereotypes. You know, about Black men, particularly younger Black men.
That's right.
You know, there's a barrage of attacks on the psyche of Black men. And to be a part of something that destroys that tears it down, that refutes it, you know, and it's not make-believe.
That's right.
This is not a story the writer created. This is real, living history that we're sharing with people. To be a part of something so real and so true that is so moving and so inspirational it's miraculous. And it is probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
I pray that I'm wrong.
Yes, sir.
That I'll have
That's good.
chance after chance after chance and opportunity after opportunity to participate in something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll happen again.
Yeah.
But until something else comes along, I'm going to ride this bus till the wheel falls off.
That's beautiful.
You know?
That's beautiful. And I think that whole concept behind what you just said is a part of the restoration of a people. Because again, I think the key to restoring any type of health or wealth in the Black community has to start with the pride. And I believe that shows like this and performances and performers like you gentlemen, you know, are at like they say, the tip of the spear when it comes to restoring the pride of a people.
You know, there have been a number of unintended, or well, can't say unintended, but at least unexpected benefits. And you know, Layon spoke about that briefly. He couldn't imagine the different ways it touched people.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of women, black women, I didn't expect this, talk about how beautiful it was to see black men loving each other.
That's good.
I heard it over and over and over. I never quite saw it. I mean, not in that exact particular way. But said, no, you men loved each other.
That's good.
You helped each other.
That's right.
When somebody was wrong, you corrected them. When somebody failed, you held them up.
That's right.
They said it's just to see that kind of image of men loving each other, being vulnerable, being sensitive to one another. It's unheard of. You don't even see a lot of that in real life.
Absolutely.
You know, that's a man thing.
Absolutely.
We don't like to show sensitivity and vulnerability, but each of these characters helps to accomplish that in this piece. In this piece.
That's good. That's good. Do you think that a piece like this could very well be planting the seed in very fertile soil for the next generation of Layon Grays? Because perhaps maybe this generation may not have gotten it. You know, we have the Layon Grays, but we do know that there are a plethora of other type of material out there that may not be as restorative to the pride of our people. Do you believe that this could possibly be impetus for that next generation to come about?
I definitely believe that, because I think the thing that makes it so powerful to me as far as planting that seed is just seeing how much Layon believed in it. You know, because there were times when people, you know, they said, you can't do it, or people won't receive it.
That's right.
But the thing that you have to always admire about him is that he continues to do it anyway.
That's right.
Because he has a vision, and it may not always seem clear, and you're like, what are you doing?
That's right.
But then at the end of the day, you're like, wow, you know, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And so I feel that every time a young kid sees it or experiences it, they'll have that same feeling that Layon had while he was creating it. It's like he falls in love with his projects. And so it's easy to just write something. But when you write from love and passion and you care for it like that, you can't help but to impact other people.
That's good.
So I feel that they will get that from that. They'll see the passion that he has in it, and that will inspire them to, like, say, I want to do that. I want to write that. I want to know more about my history. I want to just show people and help people and inspire people and motivate people, you know.
Good.
And I feel they'll get that from that.
That's beautiful. Tonio, you feeling?
Ditto. You know?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it'll inspire people to create more material like this. You know, we don't need to create fictional historical accounts.
That's right.
Exactly.
We don't need
That's
them,
right.
a la Django. There's more than enough real life, true stories about the accomplishments, the greater glories of African Americans. You know, so this just tells some of those true stories we know nothing about. And I'm hoping that people will be inspired to want to write and create. Let's tell another story. There's more to this story.
Absolutely.
Because these men lived lives
After. Absolutely.
after the war.
Absolutely.
They came back, and you could take any number of them
That's
and
right.
write a story about what they were able to accomplish, to see the true genius.
That's right.
The intelligence, the skill, the creativity, the ingenuity of these men.
That's right.
Watch them for the rest of their lives after the war. You'll see just how outstanding and how exceptional they were in so many ways.
That's
Exactly.
good.
There's so many stories to be told.
Exactly.
That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful, my dear brothers. And again, I believe that art is supposed to inspire, and that this obviously is a piece of art that has been inspiring for over 5 years now. And gentlemen, I want you to finish this with an appeal to those who have not seen the show, who have not seen this experience or not experienced this this revolution, or like I like to say, restorative piece of restoration education. Finish off for us, D, by letting us let the people know directly why they should come out and support this show.
Well, I think it's all about taking a chance on something that you may not be familiar with or have knowledge with. Some people, they always want the easy laugh, the easy fix, and it's just like, well, that's too deep. You know, I want to laugh at something. And sometimes you have to step outside your comfort zone, you know, to maybe experience something that you've never experienced, to see what you can draw from that. And so I think it's just like, you just have to put yourself out there and say, I want to know more about this, and I want to allow it to impact my life. And then I feel like once they do that, I mean, it'll be something that they never would have imagined that it would have, you know, gotten into them like that. So I really think it's a play that they need to see.
They need to see
They
it.
really need to see it.
Antonio Charity, my dear brother, your opportunity to appeal to those who you know need to see it, but who haven't seen it yet. What would you tell them?
I would simply say to you, this play is very likely to be the absolute greatest theatrical experience you'll ever have in your entire life. I think that this play ought to be required for everybody who professes to have any concern about American history.
I agree.
I think this play ought to be required viewing for anybody who says there is a paucity, a lack of good writing for black people. There's a lack of great stories. There's no original material out there. You won't find anything more original, more inspirational, more educational, more informative than Black Angels over Tuskegee. If you don't see it, and you see anybody who did see it, I promise you, you'll wish that you had.
My name is Jay Jones. It has been an absolutely phenomenal opportunity to be here tonight in LA Art Stream's Creative Current with my very dear friends, very dear thespians, Brother Layon Gray, Brother Tom Scott, Brother Derek Sean, and my dear brother Antonio Charity. Again, my name is Jay Jones, and thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you're at the theater. Don't meet me there. Beat me there.